And good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to UndercoverET. Hope you're doing really well, guys. Folks, we have got a lot of video to go over regarding this UFO file drop in America. Around 27 videos so far, and obviously this is just the first file drop, okay? So I'm expecting a lot more video. Hopefully we're going to get some real tangible, solid evidence in hand that we can look at, they can present to maybe the public as well at some point. I feel like something that big is coming real soon, guys, but I just couldn't tell you exactly what and exactly when. Possibly in the next drop, possibly in the, I would say by the third drop, we're going to get some really, really good stuff. But I just don't know for sure. We're going to listen to what Stephen Greer's got to say as well, because a lot of you, and myself included, we've linked the Epstein files to the UFO topic. In fact, I did it around 5 months ago. I was talking about how people high up in power have already been discussing mutation, genetics, all that stuff with Epstein, like back in the 2000s. So it's clear to me that they know, or at least they were trying to find out about the highest knowledge on the planet, which is the UFO topic. And of course, a lot of the files haven't been released because they're likely protecting people to get these files out, or at least there's complications. Whether they release everything, we don't know, guys, but it is linked. Stephen Greer seems to think so. I certainly did months ago, so we're going to listen to that. Before we do though, guys, Rep Burleson, he's now talking about releasing these files every 2 weeks, which is great for me because it gives me a chance to get through them all. A lot of people have already opened them and gone through them like mad. Me, I started yesterday, okay, so I'm quite happy about that, but I think probably by day 6 I'll be like, come on, more. So we'll see what happens, but I'm guessing it's going to be every 2 weeks on the Friday. So we've got to get through this week, guys, and then next week we'll get some more, hopefully. Let's have a listen to what Rep Burleson has got to say.
Burleson, he's a member of the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee and its task force on the declassification of federal secrets. Congressman, I've been looking forward to our conversation. Welcome back, sir.
It's good to be here, Hannah.
So I'm going to start with a simple question first. When's the next batch of files coming? A lot of people want to see these documents and videos.
Well, the executive branch will move at the speed that they've been given. From what I've been told, they plan to do a release approximately every 2 weeks. Hopefully they'll be able to keep to that pace. But this is a very historic moment. The first release is really the first time a president has recognized that this is a topic that the American people deserve to know the answers to, and has disclosed this information. So we have, records, as you pointed out, going all the way back to the early Apollo missions, where our astronauts were silenced. What they experienced on the moon was not able to be shared with the American people. Thank goodness President Trump actually stepped in and forced the release of these files. So while there's a lot more to be released, this is an amazing and monumental first step.
You're a leading advocate for UFO transparency. Why are these files coming out in drips instead of one big release?
That's a great question. Just knowing the government and the way that it works, I can see why it's happening this way.
All right, guys, we're going to stop it there because the rest of the interview isn't really that interesting. Basically, the main thing that we need to know is the files are going to come out in the next 2 weeks, okay? Another question that was just asked of Rep Burleson was why are the files being dripped out as slow as they are? Governments, and especially Congress, they never do anything fast, okay? Even though Trump does move at some speed, they never roll anything out fast, but also they don't want to scare people by instantly just dishing this out there. And obviously they're going to go big with this, right? There's going to be some big evidence released, I would imagine, and they don't want to throw that out there all at once. They want to try and get people to recognize that there is something out there, and then they're going to drop the bomb and go, and this is what it looks like. So yeah, crazy stuff. Also, I just wanted to touch back on this clip as well. I did analyze this yesterday. Didn't look at any of the detail, okay? It was just a visual. And I've since looked at the detail. You guys were quick to correct me as well. Obviously, you guys have been reading into this over the weekend, but apparently this file was converted so that you could see the heat and cold signatures. And apparently the dark lines are showing the heat, and the lighter lines, e.g. this light white trail behind it here, is showing cold. So essentially, from what the DoD is trying to say here, is that this thing is releasing a cold substance while it's moving, and the rest of it looks quite warm, Now, if this was a craft with an emitter inside, and that emitter was generating a lot of energy, would that come off as warm? I don't know. But what I can tell you from the clip, this here, the whole warmth I think if this is light, and that's likely what it would look like to us if we were looking at it, if it is a light source that's hot, it's continuous. There's no fluctuation, which is why you're getting this, like I say, this shape. It's just a continuous light, which apparently is hot. What's crazy is it's giving off cold plume behind it. I don't know, guys, what to make of that, other than it's obviously anomalous, right? We don't have anything that can do that, and that's why they're sharing the clip. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thank you for obviously updating me. Really, really interesting. Who knows really what this thing is. Me personally, when I've looked at all the UFO footage that comes in, I've never seen a tail like this coming off one of these objects. Just putting that out there. So that's brand new to me. And God knows how many different types of craft and beings and, you know, conscious, whatever they are. God knows how many types we're dealing with, right? So, fantastic. Thanks, Eric Burleson, News Nation. So, once every 2 weeks, guys, that's not too bad. We've got a lot to go over anyway, so it gives us some time to really mull over and analyse this stuff. All right, let's move on. All right, so let's get into the juicy Lucy stage of it. Shadow of Ezra says, UFO expert Dr. Stephen Greer says top administrators in intelligence agencies are being blackmailed with Epstein videos, which he claims is preventing the real UFO files from being released. They are terrified of going to prison. This is a much more complicated problem than we have time to unpack here. And to be honest with you, I think Stephen's been saying this for a while, that basically the US government are going to have to likely grant immunity to certain individuals, because in order to get the truth out, they need to actually guarantee their safety, which is a shame because they've obviously done some horrible shit in the world. But this topic, and I said it like 5 months ago, is clearly linked to the Epstein files, because that man and that crowd of people were at least at the top of the food chain in terms of business, connections. Some of the stuff they were talking about in the Epstein files was crazy, like mutation back in the 2000s. They were obviously in the know regarding some of this highly secretive technology. And so I'm not surprised at all that it was linked to UAP, UFO. And yeah, I did say it in the past, guys. Let's have a listen to what Dr. Greer has got to say.
Let me ask you this. Who's in charge of this other government that doesn't answer to Donald Trump?
Well, there are various corporations and then compartmented operations within CIA, the alphabet soup of agencies, and DOW that run these programs. But they're very highly compartmented. And the other problem is that there are people currently in top administrative posts in the intelligence community that are, quite frankly, being blackmailed, one of them with Epstein file videos. And so we're not going to getting a lot of cooperation from those quarters because they're terrified of going to prison. So I think this is a much more complicated problem than we have time to unpack here.
Or they're terrified of getting killed, Dr. Greer. Have you thought about that? Have you thought about that yourself, by the way?
Of course.
13 scientists, doctors have been murdered or missing.
Yep.
Or, have you thought about that?
Of course. I've dealt with this since the 90s, and I have had people on my team assassinated, to be frank. And so, yes, I mean, it's something, of course, and my family and I are aware of. But the bigger problem is, what does the president really have currently? I know some of what he has. It's a lot more than what you saw. They have material.
Well, okay.
He's not lying. He's got no reason to lie at this stage, none, regarding why certain information might not be coming out. And you can bloody believe it. People at the top of the tree, top of the food chain, know about this, and a lot of them have got dirt. They've got dirt. They've got skeletons in the closet, you could say. And so, yeah, coming out with all this is why it's big, guys. Because we're going to stamp out the corruption at the top level, and also we're going to change the world in terms of technology, awareness, the fact that we're not alone. Maybe people will actually live their lives slightly differently if they knew that this wasn't all there is. Like there's more. There is more to existence. It really is incredible, and to be honest, quite profound that we're going through this. We have to go through this route in order to get the truth, right? It's crazy. All right, thanks very much, Shadow of Ezra. Keep doing what you're doing. And obviously, guys, everyone knows Stephen Greer, okay? He's been in the UFO community for some time. CE5, one of his summoning techniques, you could say, for summoning UAP. Guys, I'm still calling BS on the summoning thing, okay? Unless you're doing CE5, stood there on your own with a video and you've captured something, I'm not quite there with it yet. Now, I could be wrong. But me, personally, having captured my own UFO, 100, 200 yards away from like 6 of us, I kind of got an idea as to what we need to do in order to attract them. And I don't think sitting on a chair with a blindfold on, psionics, or even CE5 meditation with, you know, the tones that you're playing, I don't think it's required. I honestly don't think it's required, guys. That's just my opinion. Until I dig into it and do more research, maybe try CE5 for myself. Who knows? But yeah, I didn't need it to get what I got. That's just where I'm at, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, and we are going to get into some UFO video from the UFO files. Let's go. All right, guys, so I have downloaded all the videos so far. Luckily, 2 weeks we've got to wait for the next drop, so that gives me quite a bit of time to go through all of these, plus the news reports and all the files that are actually there. Okay, there's a lot of write-up as well as there is video, so we're going to look at it all. But guys, I'm going to skip through maybe 3 or 4 videos now. Just going to show you what they're releasing, give you my take on it, and then we'll go from there. So, alright, first up, it's a short clip. It's just showing a white object. Looks like a jellyfish type object, maybe type 5 jellyfish. It's got like a dangly thing coming off the bottom of it. Very, very hard to see. It's very, very small. And it looks like it's just travelling over land there. At a good pace as well. If you imagine this camera being quite high up, this thing is actually moving. It's not belting it, but it is moving at a good speed. So yeah, just a short clip. Let's move on to the next. Whoa, there you go. Top right hand side. Honestly, when I first saw this clip, I thought it was going to be the military drone that captured the sphere going down, but it's a totally different video. So yeah, let's check this out. It's so subtle, isn't it? Everyone's looking around going, well, looking for something. It flies in this corner here, top right hand corner. Looks like another pencil type UAP potentially. Look at that. Oh, is that just lined up with the line on the ground there? It looked like a blooming saucer then, didn't it? Like a proper saucer. It's just moving incredibly fast, guys. And this is what we had yesterday. An object that looked like this, you know, looked like the light craft that Tony Franklin caught. And then once it slowed down, it was 2 white lights or white orbs maybe connected together to make one craft, but we couldn't see the craft fully. I don't know, but yeah, even the US government are showing very, very subtle objects, you know, zipping past the camera, right? That most people would be like, yeah, nah, it's a fly, mate, it's a bug. No, not at this altitude. I don't think so. Yeah, great stuff. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on this one, and we're going to move on. All right, what have we got here? It looks like we've got, okay, that thing's on the move. That's on the move. Not much to it, guys. Just a 15-second clip. 10-second clip, even. This looks like more of a metallic sphere. But it's hard to know, isn't it? It just looks like a light dot on the actual screen. So at this distance, hard to know. Interesting. But yeah, I mean, they're onto something. And note as well how this is just making a beeline. It's just making a straight line, you know. And why I say that, why I even highlight that as a thing, is because when I'm filming the skies at night and I'm looking for potential moving stars, and then if they turn, then there's something else, right? What's to say that a craft won't just be flying in a straight line for a certain amount of time? You know? And so everything high up in the sky that's generating any kind of light source, whether it be a star, a UAP, whatever, will look like a tiny dot in the sky, and it might be going straight for some time before it turns off. So with that said, and I've already started doing this myself, when you're filming at night, especially using like a night camera or, you know, infrared, aim for anything moving, and just stay on it. Just stay on it. If it stays continuously in a straight line, get rid of it. Delete the file. If it stays in a straight line for some time and then makes a turn, you know you're on something good. So that's what I recommend you guys do, because these things will fly straight as well as they will turn whenever they want. You know, you just got to capture them in the moment. So that's what it's all about. All right, next up we've got, this one looks a bit faster. Definitely moving a bit quicker. Camera's trying to keep up with it. Honestly, like, it's very hard to see exactly what this is. Trying to look at it there. It looks like it's triangular in shape. Almost looks like it has wings, you know. I mean, at this distance, who knows? See that there? Kind of. I'll just zoom in and pull the screen out there a little bit. Can you see how it looks like a very small plane? Clearly, it's moving too fast. What, it's flying over the ocean as well? It almost looks like almost looks like a bird just gliding, right? But I haven't seen one flap yet, and then it fucks off. I mean, where's it gone? Camera's like, oh, hang on a minute, where the hell did that go? You know, so obviously traveling at some stupid speed. But yeah, there's no detail on it, guys. This is why I say your video is better than what they're bringing out at the moment, guys, okay? But yeah, interesting. Obviously accelerated off. That was the most compelling part of the clip. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we're going to move on. All right, guys, so we're going to end on this. This is an audio clip, okay, from NASA. It's regarding one of their missions, okay, until I get into the right file and read up about this. I'm not too sure which mission it was. If you know, let me know in the comments. What I did this morning was I downloaded every single video from the Department of War website, okay, and this was attached. So I don't know the detail on it, but it's clearly a recording from NASA regarding one of their missions. It's really, really compelling, guys. They're talking about two particular objects in question and some particles surrounding one of their shuttles that they've released. I'm not too sure exactly what this means, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's have a listen, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end.
Gemini Control here again. Earlier in the flight, you'll recall at the start of the second revolution, we had a reference to several objects that the crew spotted. This was in the area of Antigua. Due to a mechanical breakdown, we did not have that portion of the tape available for you. This was a line breakdown between Building 30 and our news center in Building 6. Since then, we have dubbed the tape off the master tape here in the control center, and we are now prepared to play it for you. It contains references to sighting not only some particles, but as well as an unidentified object, plus the booster. Here's that tape. We'll play it for you now.
Gemini 7 here, Houston, out of your 8.
Loud and clear. 7, go ahead.
Bogey at 10 o'clock high.
This is Houston. Say again, 7.
So we have a bogey at 10 o'clock high.
Roger. Gemini 7, is that the booster or is that an actual sighting?
What?
Say again, 7.
Okay, we have several, looks like the 3 up here, actual sighting.
You have any more information, estimated distance or size?
But we also have the booster in sight.
Understand you also have the booster in sight, Roger.
And we have very, very many, looks like hundreds of little particles going by the west out about 3 to 4 miles.
Understand you have many small particles going by on the left. At what distance?
4 miles. Large, looks like perhaps a vehicle that's disintegrated.
Roger, understand they're about 3 to 4 miles away.
They're past now, they're going to polar orbit.
Roger, and understand they were about 3 to 4 miles away.
Trying to line, or further.
Roger. Gemini 7, Houston, were these particles in addition to the booster and the bogey at 10 o'clock high? Roger.
7, this is, Houston, this is 7.
Go ahead.
I have the booster on my side is a brilliant body of the sun against a black background, and with billions of particles around it.
Roger. What direction is it from you?
It's about at my 2 o'clock position.
Does that mean it's ahead of you?
It's affirmative. Ahead of us at 2 o'clock, slowly tumbling.
Roger.
OS 91. Fox 91. Fox 191, say again.
Gemini Control here again. The reference in that conversation to the third unidentified object, of course, the third object was bogey. There were several references to the bogey. This is the unidentified object, in addition to particles which appear to be headed in a polar orbit, you heard Frank Borman say, plus Jim Lovell discussing the booster. It was Borman who reported sighting the bogey. This is Gemini Control Houston at 4 hours, 24 minutes into the flight.
So how about that, guys? Absolutely mind-boggling. So even NASA have evidence and eyewitnesses of something going on one of their missions. And it does make you wonder. It makes you wonder, doesn't it, how these celebrity scientists like Neil deGrasse Tyson, who worked closely with NASA, is still in denial because he doesn't have the evidence. And look, guys, they clearly got a lot in the archives hidden away that these scientists haven't seen yet. So I get it. But let's be honest, Neil deGrasse Tyson and many others haven't had the clearance, haven't been told about this stuff. And therefore, guys, the majority of us shouldn't be allowing ourselves to take what these scientists are saying as gospel. Because here we are in 2026 talking about ETs and aliens and UFOs. A couple of years ago, these scientists were just laughing at us. So yeah, interesting stuff. It's amazing that NASA's come forward with some stuff. Guys, let me know all your thoughts and the comments on all of it. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope you enjoyed this one. We've got a lot to uncover this week, so I'm going to keep plodding along. I'm going to be looking at all this information. If you've got any details that you want to share with me regarding the footage that I've shown today, please do. I'll take that into account on the next one. There is an awful lot to go through, guys, an awful lot. Keep recording the skies. As always, we do need your evidence. Get it into me, undercoveretuk@gmail.com. And not because we need disclosure, guys. Disclosure has happened, guys. It is literally happening as we speak. But we do need some compelling captures, because there are going to be a lot of people out there that will still be on the fence even though they've been told. I can understand it. I can understand it, right? The elected officials have been lying to us all our lives. So when do we start trusting them? The answer to that is never. But maybe if we can get some UAP evidence out there, start raising some eyebrows, start turning some heads, maybe, just maybe, the world will come together and we'll disclose this properly. Folks, thank you so much. Take care. All the best. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.